Hi there. Hello. It's Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. My gosh, it almost sounded like we were going to the horse races, didn't it? So, how are you tonight? I have to say, I went to the gym and I overdid it a little. So, it's okay. So if you're joining me, please comment. You'll want the directions for this card, I promise. But before we get into tonight's project, I have to remind you, yes, that the deadline for card class is tonight for Saturday's sessions. We will be doing this crossover card. Hello, Barb. Hey, Pam. If you're on my team, you will be getting all the instructions. Hey, Lise, you'll be getting all the instructions and the videos for the card class. Another benefit to being on my team. Oh, and there's a bonus right now for signing up. Gee, go figure. So, this is called an arrow point card. And last but not least, this last one, I did it because it was just pretty. The ribbon matched the ombre paper, gorgeous. It was just pretty. So if you're joining me, please comment. Let me know that you're here. And I'm going to flip you around and we're going to get to starting with this project. So hold on a sec. Alrighty, so tonight's project is an, let's see if we're good. I hope so. Yay. Okay. So tonight's project is called, what? An interlocking gate card. If you're wondering, that's the technical term for it. So let me get the computer set up. Hold on just a half a second here. Refresh the page, get everything done. So what I mean by overdid at the gym is I ran for 20 minutes and I haven't done that in a while. And I thought I was up for it. And that's all I must say about that. So it is what it is some days, right? Some days are better than others. So yay. Hey, Penny, how are you? Hey, Kath, Lise, Pam, and Barb. How are you guys? Make sure to get all of ya. So, tonight's card, we are going to be doing a few things that are kind of cool. At least I think. You can say otherwise. It doesn't matter to me. But, it's an interlocking gate card, which means the piece here interlocks to create kind of a gate for your card. And let's see, what else, my dears? So you know about the contest, right? The In Color Challenge? I really hope so by now. So in your catalog packet, you got 5 pieces, 1 each, of the new In Colors, and you are supposed to create some current, well, semi-current. If it's in like the most recent catalog that just went, not a problem. But I don't want stuff from a couple of years ago. So that's one thing. So basically, you make as many projects as you possibly can, and you put them under comments on the pinned post. Why is that? So you have a chance at winning the 5 brand new ink pads I am raffling off that are the new In Colors. So make sure, if you haven't done it yet, do it. So, alright, so for tonight's project, there's a couple of techniques that got featured on blog posts this week that we're all going to be smashing into tonight, okay? So for this one, here's all the techniques, besides how to stamp, right? All right, so it's going to be how to create this interlocking portion, okay? It's going to be how to mat correctly and how to stamp a big stamp, background stamp, and create your own designer series paper, for lack of better terms. And last but not least, how to stamp a small portion from that big, huge thing, right? What is a pinned post? That means I have pinned it to the top of the page, so it's the first thing you see. So you don't have to scroll down forever and ever, okay? So basically, if I pin a post on May 1st, we're going to say, just for ease, and the contest runs until the 15th, and I say pin that post, it'll stay at the top of the page. Now, when I unpin it, it'll go back all the way down into where it was supposed to be in my feed. So, sometime on the 1st or whenever I did it, okay? So it makes it easy for you to find, is the translation of that. So, it's not on my website. It is on this page. So, there you go. All right, so we're going to get to creating tonight. I have everything pretty much pre-cut, but I will share dimensions in great detail with you and make sure you understand what's going on, okay? So, if you comment by Friday here or on YouTube, you will get the directions for free emailed to you. If you order 50 or more in product by Monday, the 17th, before 7:30 p.m. with the host code that's in the caption, then you'll also get all the materials to do it. Now, you're not going to get the stamp stuff. You're going to get all the cutouts, but you're not going to get the stamp stuff because I can't do that for you. So, if you don't want to buy it, you can come on a Monday and you can stamp it just like a class, okay? So there is a $25 bonus for hosts or people that buy $250 or more. So for $250, say you get 10% for the host. Let's just make it easy math. It might be 12, but I'm just making easy math. Okay, so $250 order, 10%, you get $25 for free, correct? Yes, this is where you nod your head and say yes. So, the bonus is an additional $25 when you hit that $250. So, instead of $25 for free, you would get $50 for free. Kind of cool, right? There's also a bonus for signing up. $99 sign up just like normal. No shipping, only tax, because we can't get away from tax, right? But you get $155 in product of your choosing, not a standard kit. You get to choose it. So $155 instead of $125, and every order after that, while you're still active, $300 a quarter to stay active, you get 20% off your order. Kind of cool, right? So, I think that's all I have for tonight as far as housekeeping, shall we say. All right, so let's get going. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, Cheryl, how are you, honey? So, let's see. All right, so measurements. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So this card base, I have still used a thick basic white piece of cardstock. However, you can use any color you want. You could use thinner, you could, whatever. It's just, you got to make it work, right? So this is 5.5 by 8.5. Not too unusual, right? But this is scored at 2 1/8 and then flipped around and scored at 2 1/8. Why? Because that's the midpoint where it reaches. See what I'm saying? So when you order thick cardstock, a lot of you say, please cut my bases for me. Great. But leave a couple just in case you want to do a 3D project just in case you want to do something different other than the normal. Does the demonstrator sign up include a free stamp set? No, honey, it includes a $30 bonus. So the free stamp set was the last time we had a promotion for celebration, and that's long over. So this is $99 sign up, normally $125 in product. Right now you get $155 in product of your choosing. Okay, that is the bonus. And that's going to run until June. Hold on. It's going to bug me. It's going to bug me that I don't know. May 31st. Join our crafting community. $99 sign up, $155 in the US, $206 in Canada. Normally, it's normally $125. Okay, so there you go. Till the 31st. So, till Memorial Day. Remember, Memorial Day, you get to have a bonus. Okay? Alrighty, so, let's see here. So, back to the dimensions. 5.5 by 8.5. And then scored on the 8.5 side at 2 1/8 and 2 1/8. That's much easier than trying to add and go, okay, so do it at 6 and, no, just 2 1/8 twice. Okay? So that's your card base. Got it? Okay. So for the inside, this is pretty standard, you guys. So the inside is a piece of basic black cardstock and a piece of basic white cardstock. Now the basic black is 5 1/4 by 4. 5 1/4 by 4. And the basic white is 5 by 3 3/4. Now, don't be worrying about jotting all this down, because if you've commented like you're supposed to, which I think you all have, you're going to be getting all this in instructions. Not a problem. Okay? Now all the pieces and parts. Woohoo! Okay, so now we've got 2 panels. Okay? I'm going to call these the front panels. Basic black cardstock, cut to 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. 1 7/8 by 5 1/4 twice. And then we've got, if I can get down to it. All right, and then we've got these 2 basic white panels that mat inside the black ones perfectly. Okay, so these are cut at 1 5/8 by 5. 1 5/8 by 5. Okay, so there we go on that. Are we ready for more? I hope so. Okay, so these are basically scraps. These are what are going to become our frame and our inner. Okay, so there's that. And then this little guy, I don't have anything on it. I thought I had a smudge already, and I haven't even started. That little guy becomes this. Okay, so shall we? I hope so. Okay, got it. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to separate this out. This has to get stamped, and this has to get stamped, and these have to get stamped. So we're going to do the stamping first. That way the ink has 1.5 minutes to dry, and we will be ready to go. Okay? So, let's see here. And now, before I ink, I'm actually going to glue down what I can with my Stampin' Seal Plus. If you guys have any problems with the runners, please, please, please let me know. If you're on my team and a current demonstrator, let Stampin' Up! Know. They want to know if their product is working correctly. I just had somebody order the Stampin' Seal and it wound and did all kinds of crazy stuff. And it didn't work all that well. And I got them a new one and they said, we'll keep that in mind just in case it becomes a problem. So you just want to make sure to let them know what's going on, right? Okay, so now we have that. Okay, so now I am grabbing my, not my panels, not my this, because I want to do my little stuff first. So I don't end up with huge piles. I want to get my little stuff out of the way so I can ink my big one and be done. So here's my happy birthday. Straight down, no rocking, leave it for a couple seconds so it goes in. That's ready to be die cut, so that's getting put onto the machine. Okay. Now inside I had "It's your day, enjoy it." Nice birthday card, right? At least in theory, I hope. So we're gonna straight down. Yay! Okay, now comes the fun part. Yay! The big part. One of the techniques, right? So I am grabbing my wild roses. And instead of trying to line it up on the block, what I'm gonna do is line my block up to it instead of the other way around. Okay. Yay, there we go. All right, so now I want to have this bottom corner stamped. So what I'm gonna do is go this corner. So when I flip, I need to ink here, okay? So I am just simply inking that corner because that's all I need right at the moment. And I am slamming it down. Push, 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 since it is such a big block. And I always seem to get that little hint. It's okay though. It's handmade, right? So, name of which stamp set? I am using Wild Roses Cling Stamp Set, and I'm using Happiest of Birthdays. The Happiest of Birthdays has the sentiments in it, and the Wild Roses has all the background stuff. So now I'm going to grab my two white, basic white, and I got to move some stuff because this is a big stamp. So I am inking, and because it's such a huge stamp, I am inking onto my stamp instead of the other way around because I want to see where there might be lines or where I might have missed, like right there. Okay? And what I'm doing is I laid these down side by side. If you prefer, you can stamp a whole piece, and then I gotta stand up. If you want to stamp the whole piece, then you can cut out where you did good, for lack of better terms. Not bad! Woohoo! Okay, I'm gonna get that out of the way. Now, that is such a huge stamp, I often will run it under some cool water under the kitchen sink instead of trying to wash it on the scrub mat, just because it is so huge. Okay, so now I'm grabbing here and I'm gluing down just because then I don't have pieces that get lost. Why am I saying that? Well, because I've got, you know, stamp sets out, I've got embossing machines out, so there's pieces and parts all over my table, so it would be very easy for it to vanish. Okay, I mean, I've had things stick to the bottom of the Big Shot in the past, and that was not fun. And then I couldn't find them for weeks until they fell off. So there we go. Remember, this is your back, not your front, because this folds and folds. Okay, now we get to do the fun part, the die cutting. So what I've done is I've got all my die cutting pieces, and I've grabbed my rectangle stitched framelit dies, and I've got my couple that I'm using in the back here already. Let me dig them out. I did not have them out because I figured they might get lost. Maybe a safe assumption, huh? So there you go. All right, so, and then for those of you that were on last week, I believe I emailed out the instructions and the link for the video and all that kind of stuff. I believe I did that like yesterday or today. I was running a bit behind because I had my first fair and it kind of just got me a little behind, and it's okay. So we are grabbing our platform, and I should tell you the measurements, right? So that way. All right, so these are the rectangle stitch dies. Hey Serene, how are you? How'd Pez do? She was doing her swim meet today. So the rectangle stitch dies, I don't know how they're actually measured in real life, but I'm going to measure from edge to edge, not necessarily where the stitching is, not necessarily the inner edge, all that. So that way, when you go to do this, you can have the right piece. So I am measuring from edge to edge, edge to edge, okay? So this piece, and this is for the happy birthday, this is at, oh man, I gotta have like 1 3/8 by 1 3/4. Okay? Or when you stamp the happy birthday, it goes right around it all pretty like that. So there you go. Okay? Let's see. And you can use a Post-it to keep it steady, but honestly, I do this so many times that I usually can keep it pretty good. And then this guy, I have these two here. So this is going to make the frame, and then this smaller one is also going to be the mat for the happy birthday. So I'm going to do the mat for the happy birthday, and I'll explain why in a minute. But the mat for the happy birthday is, oh, we got another goofy one. 1 5/8 by 2 7/8 is what I'm gonna say. Okay, so this one is just barely gonna fit on this pretty Highland Heather piece of cardstock, and I'm gonna run these through. And you're saying, but John, you forgot the frame. Yeah, I did, but I'm gonna tell you why. So I want to run 2 of them at the same time so I can be done, right? Because if I waited, I would have to do it anyways twice. So I'm doing 2 at the same time because I want to make sure all the stitching lines up and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want the depth of the 2 stacked pieces of cardstock to be different than these because these are only 1. Does that make sense? So I want them to cut efficiently is what it comes down to. You got to think about the depth and the height and all that kind of stuff when you're cutting, because if you have 2 different ones, guess what happens? Not much. We'll just say it that way, huh? All right, so now I've got my larger one. Hold on, I tell you the measurements. Hold on, hold on. Oh, my machine moved a little. Okay. So measurements are 2 inches by, oh, it's between 2, just after 3 1/4, because it's not quite at the next notch. Okay, so 2 by just after 3 1/4. So 1/16 of a, I don't know. Okay. So anyways, so I've got 2 pieces of scrap cardstock, Highland Heather. Now I'm going to tell you, I tried to do this with just folding it over. Not a good idea because it's flapping around in the wind, and then, well, not the wind, but you understand what I'm saying. It's flapping around because it's got a fold to it, and I couldn't get the die to stay put. So you want to make sure they're cut, torn, whatever, but not folded is my point, okay? It just makes it too hard to keep everything straight. Okay, now this one, because there's 2, we're gonna run it front and back because I want to make sure it goes through. Okay. So did anybody see the video I posted on my page today about the hybrid? It's harder because I can't stand up. About the hybrid embossing folder. So we have a hybrid embossing folder, and what that means is it's actually designed, the folder is actually designed to have the dies sit down in it so you can emboss and also cut out pieces at the same time. I will be doing something on it when I get it. No, I have not ordered it yet because I didn't catch it, and it sounds amazing. So, because it's something different, right? So, the video is our CEO, Sarah, talking about hybrid embossing folders. So, I thought it was pretty cool. All right, so I'm peeling these guys out. Notice that our new stitched rectangle dies are a whole lot easier than they used to be. Man, our first stitched ones, whew, were like, good luck trying to get, right? And you know what I did? I forgot to run the smaller one to make it a frame. So we gotta do this again. Okay. I thought I was done. Just kidding. Okay. Trying to be efficient. Yeah, see how that worked for me, huh? Okay. I was like, this don't look right. Yeah, because I didn't do the frame. Duh. So we're going to make sure these are flat as can be, lined up as can be. And I knew there was something missing. How about that, huh? So now we're going to create the frame, the inner part. And if you do not want to have, or if you do not want to have, clunking is normal. If you do not want to have to cut out another piece, you could just use the inner one. But I'm doing a bunch of these, so it doesn't really matter to me, but it'll probably matter to you. So, FYI, you can do that. So if you haven't checked out that video on the hybrid embossing folders, check it out. Or you can go to stampinup.com as if you were shopping and hit the little magnifying glass for the search kind of thing. And what you can do is look and go, hybrid. There's only like one, maybe two at best. So you're not going to be inundated with product, but it's cool, right? So, something different. Woohoo! All right. Now that I have frames, we're grabbing our silicone mat, and here's the reason why. Because we got to sandwich these guys together. Why? Because I want them to be sturdy. Okay? So I am grabbing here. Now, if you prefer the liquid glue, you can do that. If you prefer tear tape, you can do that, but it's wider than this is, just like I'm doing here. So there's that. You can do glue dots. Why am I doing, if you do glue dots, let me finish that statement. If you do glue dots, make sure you do not leave a whole bunch of gaps. So you're looking at probably 3 or 4 on this side and probably 6 on this side. It's going to be a lot of glue dots, which is why I chose not to do that, because I figured you might want to like go and do something else tonight. So what I am choosing to do instead is take my finger and roll back the adhesive so I hopefully do not have any sticking out. You want to make sure and now my finger has some. You want to make sure, this is why I have a silicone mat, so that way I don't end up. You want to make sure that nothing is sticking out. Here's the reason why. It interlocks, right? So if you have glue sticking out, guess what's going to happen? Yep. You heard me say it, right? Okay. Done now. So, So I am grabbing here and I'm just rolling, rolling, rolling. There's a song about that, isn't there? Does anybody know the song? Gotta keep them rolling. Rawhide, right? Okay. And if Joel's on, he's going, oh my gosh, you and your lyrics. So there we go. Okay. So now I'm almost done rolling this all back. And then the important part, you gotta line these up because it has to look like one piece, right? So if you need your readers, if you need your cheaters, if you need to make sure your glasses are washed, if you need to make sure your contacts are in, this would be the time to do that. Okay? So what I'm doing now is I am grabbing, there's not glue on this little corner. So I am lining up here. And like I said, I am taking special care to make sure that it is lined up. Okay, pretty close. I missed a tiny bit and I've got a teeny tiny bit of glue. So I'm just like, I'm scraping off as much as I possibly can because I don't want it to stick, right? So, alrighty. So I have my silicone mat to ensure that I don't end up with it all over the place, but hey, you know, there's still that possibility, right? So this is gonna go like this, this is gonna go like this, and this is gonna go like this. Kind of cool, right? So first things first, we're gonna stick our happy birthday on. Okay. And I'm gonna get everything set and done. We want to do some bling, of course. I mean, come on. And we want to tie in the black mats. So I am grabbing my matte black dots. Okay. And I am putting 1 and 2. Okay. So there we go. Yes, the annual catalog is... Yes, it is. Yeah, Serena, you got it, girl. We're gonna win at karaoke one of these days. So, please remember that even though the annual catalog is brand new, the mini, the seasonal one, is still here. Okay? So remember that things coordinate and everything else. If you want to be completely anal about measuring, there's 14 stitches across. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, sorry, not 14. So if you go between number 7 and 8 for your stitches, you'll be right in center. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my center is right there. Have those stitches help you, right? So we're gonna glue this on this side, and then this guy is going to be glued on this side, the left side, opposite of what I did. So that way, what happens? It goes like this, just like that. It's a technical term, for me at least. So, and this is called an interlocking gate card. Now you know why, because you can tell just by looking at it, right? So we're gonna roll this back again. And Lisa's probably telling me, if you had used liquid glue, you would be fine. But I always tend to use too much and my paper gets all kinds of curly on me. So I tend to not do that. Okay, so now we're gonna grab here. The glue is on this side. We're gonna start on this side, and here's why. Because this has to line up perfectly, and if it doesn't, guess what happens? It doesn't look completely right, right? So, now in theory, if I've done this correctly, cross your fingers. I have a little bit of glue right there. There we go. Okay? Yay! And it, after you slide it a couple times, it gets better. But that is what we are looking at. See, I got a little bit of glue right there. So you got to be extra careful, okay? Maybe dip the whole thing in cornstarch. I don't know. But that is the concept. So thank you so much for joining me. Comment if you're here even on the replay, and follow me, stampingwithjohnny.com, and good luck to all of you that are doing the In Color contest. So thanks again. Have a great night. Bye-bye.